With Strickland, I find it fascinating because I had people over the house and like, God, this fight's boring. I'm like, Strickland's going to Strickland. He's not a knockout artist. He's not a finisher. He applies a lot of pressure, a lot of volume, and he melts you. And at a certain level, guys are he's at a certain level where guys are so tough that he can't melt them. He just exhausts them, but they don't break mentally. So he's at a level. We've seen where Strickland will set that pace. He's done it since he was a kid. He sets that pace and he melts dudes that aren't tip of the spear, and he can finish them off. But when you're fighting guys in the top 10, you're not melting them. You're going to exhaust them and start to do work and take over, but you're not breaking anybody in the top 10. They're unbreakable mentally. You can finish them, you can knock them out, you can shut their lights off, you can catch them in a choke and put them to sleep, but you're not going to mentally break anybody in the top 10. So for his fighting style, you're going to get a lot of decisions. I don't mind watching it either. I don't think it's boring. I think it's fascinating that he can avoid these big punches from guys like Paulo Costa. You shouldn't be mad at Sean Strickland. You should be mad at Paulo Costa. Paulo Costa, we know exactly what Strickland's going to do. We know he doesn't have the capabilities. He's not shooting an explosive double leg. He's not going to mix it up, take you down. Saw the Alex Pereira fight. Sean Strickland and Sean Strickland, and it's fucking tough to beat. It's on you to get him out of his comfort zone and get off your back foot and go forward and take some chances. And why not? It's not like he's some crazy power puncher like Alex Pereira that's going to hit you with a left hook and knock you into the fucking next week. Take some chances. But if you're anybody who fights Sean Strickland moving forward, if you think you're going to sit there and outpoint him, you're out of your goddamn mind. It's not happening. You have to take chances. If you don't, this is the result. You're going to lose via decision, 5 rounds, shutout. Why that fight was even 5 rounds, I couldn't tell you. I think it's the only way they were able to get Sean Strickland to take this fight. Because he has such an advantage. His cardio is so good. He was all do it has to be 5 rounds. 3 favors him. Little do we know that Paulo Costa is going to show up and be like, I'm just as good a striker. No, you're not. And this is what you get. So you can't be mad at Sean Strickland. I like how some of the people in my space are like, oh, they were booing Sean Strickland. No, they're booing Paulo Costa. Or they're just a casual, like, what the hell? This guy's just going to go forward and get him on his back foot and outpoint him? Yeah, that's what he does. He melts dudes. But Sean Strickland's thing, the only way he's going to get a finish is if whoever he's fighting takes chances. You're not going to outscore him. You're not going to outpoint him. You can't sit on the outside. You can't sit on your back foot and circle the cage and try to outmatch him. It's not happening. It's not going to fucking happen. Robert Whittaker knows this. Hamzat knows this. And again, at that level, at that top 10, Strickland was able to break the top 10, get there from melting dudes. He breaks them. The pace is so intense. People get so exhausted, they break mentally. But the top 10, it's impossible to do. So you're going to get a ton of decisions if Sean Strickland wins. The only way you're going to finish in a strong Sean Strickland fight now, the only way is if his opponent takes a chance and Sean Strickland hits him with a shot, perfect timing, or if that opponent lands a big shot on Sean Strickland. That's it. So guys have to go for broke. You have to get it done the first 2 rounds. Paulo Costa, for whatever reason, scared to gas out, too muscular.
He said that too.
For whatever reason, was like, no, I'll just stay on my back foot. No, dude. Because you give Strickland an inch, dude, you're so fucked in that fight. Once he sees you going back in his head, you can see the confidence go, got him. But once Paulo Costa, the few times he did stand his ground, he landed. But you got to be a bad motherfucker to go, I'm going to eat some punches, but I'm sick of going back. Enough's enough. It's the only way you can beat Sean Strickland. That's it. Look at Alex Pereira. What? Do what? Oh, you fancy yourself a striker? Check this left hook out. And I'm world class. I'm not going back. I'm going to hit you with a fucking left hook.
Yeah.
But if you sign up for a Sean Strickland fight, any middleweight out there, if you sign up for a Sean Strickland fight and you think you're going to stay on your back foot and beat him, you're out of your fucking mind. The only reason, Duplessis too. I thought Strickland won the fight, but even that, notice he would go back, and that's why the fight was so close, but he went forward a lot and took chances. And that's why you have a fight. It's literally impossible at middleweight if you're on your back foot against Sean Strickland to win a fucking round. I know, I'm a moron. I know this. Your coaches know this. It's on you, middleweights. So don't be mad at Sean Strickland. People are like, oh, why is he in applause? It's because he's a Trump guy. No, people like him for that, for sure. But anyone who's a Sean Strickland fan, did anybody put $5 on Strickland to finish him? No. We all know Strickland wins this decision. And I don't mind it. I know we live in this day and age of cool head kicks and choking guys out. I think it's interesting to watch Strickland just dismantle these dudes and just keep marching forward and just one arm down, Philly shuffle, and just he's fucking doing Philly shell and just avoiding all these shots and just keeps melting them. Fun to watch. If you're upset, that fight's on Paulo Costa.
It felt kind of, honestly, to me, even though I'm a huge fan of this, it felt a little boring. And I remember, like, Sean, like, every now and then he would do a blitz, right? He's usually, like, really good at, like, you know, deflecting all that stuff. But then when he did blitzes, he would hurt Costa. He did it twice, right? So
he knocked him down with that head kick. He was a little off balance, but he did it. Remember at the end there,
very end,
he knocked him down.
Dude, he could. But again, he could finish people.
You have 4 rounds in the bank. The only way Paulo Costa can win this fight is if Sean Strickland gets wild and decides to let his guard down and try to finish him. Then there's an opening for Paulo Costa to counter that and land that big shot, because he does have one shot knockout power. So if I'm Sean Strickland, I'm like, do something. It's on you, bud.
Yeah.
I'm going to do this all night. This could be 10 rounds and it's going to go no different. He was barely breathing. Paulo Costa didn't even get him out of his comfort zone. Not once.
Yeah.
That one judge was like, fuck yeah, Costa.
That same judge too. What the hell, dude?
Fantastic.
But yeah, Costa said after the fight, he's like, before, Costa used to be like this badass that just came out crazy and didn't like save his gas tank and he would win. He says he's going back to that same guy after this fight.
Okay. Okay. If they give you the right matchup, because some guy's going to force you to do that. And again, if you take that chance with Paulo Costa, he's so skilled, he'll knock you out. But you get to a certain level, the Izzies of the world, the Robert Whitakers of the world, the Sean Stricklands of the world, you're never going to beat him. He'll never be champ. You're never going to beat those guys. Below that, though, you want to take a chance, Paulo Costa knock you out. He's fun to watch. I hope the UFC's not going to cut him or anything like that, He's fun to watch. But those top tier guys, you never beat them. Kevin Holland looked good. Took that fight in short notice, 185. And the rest of the card, Almeida did his thing. Thank God. Got back in the win streak. But outside that main event, though, UFC 302. I know it sucked. That main event, though. And Strickland gonna Strickland. That's UFC 302. Strickland gonna strict. And that main event, though.